as I was saying, do you remember when they were saying, oh, don't worry, you won't have any problems when we get the supply system on the computer?
Yeah.
We've been trying to get new gym suits for the last 4 months. Every time we order, they send us 4 dozen medicine balls. We have more medicine balls per student than any other high school in the world. And
fewer gym suits.
Right.
Oh, since we're on the subject of supplies, I need some newer history books. The last chapter's got World War II down as a toss-up.
Medicine balls? History books? You two guys really got it rough.
What's wrong with you?
Nothing. I just spent the morning with a screaming 15-year-old and 2 juvenile delinquents, that's all.
Where's Mrs. McIntyre?
What is that?
I don't even want to know.
Well, let's see. It's not elk mating season. What does that leave? Army roll call or the bellow of a wounded parent?
Hey! Where's this Mrs. McIntyre?
Finish your lunch. I'll take care.
No, thanks. I can do it. It's just part of a perfect day. May I help you? I'm Miss McIntyre.
It's about my Sharon. You know they're still waiting for you up in your office if I hadn't come looking for...
Excuse me. Which Sharon?
My Sharon. Sharon Stops. I'm her old man.
Oh. Well, Mr. Stops, if you don't mind, could we talk about this a little later? I was just starting my lunch.
Look, I gotta get back to work. I'm on my lunch hour too, you know. Let's go. I got a mother here. We're all waiting for you. Come on. Mrs. McIntyre.
It's Miss.
Yeah, well, I can tell by just looking at you that you're a very smart girl, but I gotta tell you, for a smart girl, you sure did a dumb thing.
Oh? What did I do?
You put my little girl in the wrong major. I mean, this general thing is all wrong.
But that's what she wanted.
No, she needs college prep. With that general major thing, she can't go to college.
The point is, she doesn't want to go to college.
She wants to go. She just doesn't know it yet.
Have you ever thought about reshaping your eyebrows?
No, as a matter of fact, I haven't.
You should listen to her. She knows a lot about makeup and hair. Well, you should see what she's done for some of her girlfriends.
With reshaped eyebrows, a little more makeup, and a new hairstyle, you could be a completely different person.
Who could I be?
Well, you could be you, only different.
You think I'm pushy?
Is something happening?
Sure I'm pushy, but you gotta be if you want to sell tires. Is that your office?
Yeah.
Let's go, girls. What are you doing, looking for a file? Just give me the form and I'll sign it.
What form?
I know how all your government places work. You got forms for everything. You gotta have a blue copy and a pink copy, but it's only paper. So let's change the paper.
I can do that. But what about Sharon's feelings? She says she has absolutely no interest in going to college. Maybe I'm wrong. Are you interested in going to college?
Yes.
Oh.
Tell her what kind of college you want to go to.
Beauty college.
That's no college. I'm talking about a place where you learn more than about it. After college.
By the way, Mr. Stops, there's no urgency.
I'm on my lunch hour.
Decision is final.
Look, you're the expert. Tell me what you think. This girl, college material or isn't she?
Sharon gets pretty good grades. She probably could make it if she tried a little harder. But there are a lot of other factors that you're not...
Come on, don't hedge on me.
I don't want to go to college. I want to be a hairstylist. Can anybody hear me?
I hear you, Sharon.
This lady's your counselor.
Listening.
All right, McIntyre, go ahead. She's listening.
Sharon, we've talked about this before. If you stay in the general major, you won't be able to get into a 4-year college. Now, it's much better to leave the door open now, because if you change your mind later on, it's going to cost a lot of time and a lot of money.
I know what I want.
See? See how she listens? Tell me, what would it take for her to get into college?
All she'd need are 2 sciences and a language.
All?
Sure. Go ahead and change her program.
Wait a minute, Mr. Stops. I don't want to do anything unless Sharon agrees.
Look, we're her parents, and we want her to go to college. You gonna change your program now?
Sharon, it is possible you change your mind later on and decide to go to college. I don't like doing this if you don't want it. But why don't you give college prep a try?
I told you you're a smart girl, McIntyre.
Thanks a lot, Miss McIntyre.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Oh, hi, Sharon.
Hi.
What are you doing in here?
Oh, I just wanted to finish this comb out, Miss Johnson, and I knew 222 was empty this period. Please let me stay.
Okay.
Thanks.
You really do that great.
Thank you.
You know, you've been in class 3 weeks and you never looked the same way twice. I meant that as a compliment.
Would you mind if I just tried to do a little change right around your eyebrows?
Well, Oh, I guess not.
You know, with your facial shape and bone structure, you could carry some more makeup.
I could?
Mm-hmm. Tell me, Miss Johnson, have you ever wondered what you might look like as a blonde?
No, not really. Well, to be perfectly truthful, one time I did think about it.
You did?
Notice any difference, Mr. Kaufman?
Hey, Kevin, your voice is still the same. What happened to you?
The Sharon Stops treatment.
I hope it isn't contagious. What's Sharon Stops?
She's a student. As a matter of fact, I was wondering, in view of the student-faculty relationship, if ethically maybe I should pay the girl.
Oh, no, Miss Johnson. Ethically, I wouldn't pay her for that.
Have you seen Alice recently?
Why?
Well, I won't spoil it for you. Listen, you know when I'm wrong about something, I'm the first to admit it.
Who are you wrong about?
Sharon Stops.
I was wrong.
No, she's doing great in my class. And I've got to agree with you. I think she could make it in college.
I'm glad she's doing well somewhere.
What's wrong?
Unsatisfactory notices and one out-and-out flunk. All in Sharon's new classes.
How'd she do before?
And the general major? About a B-minus average.
Any failures?
Not one. Tell you anything? Lamb shanks! Oh, I've been waiting weeks for lamb shanks.
That's nice. They've been waiting weeks for you, too.
Oh, nonsense. They're delicious. Lamb shanks, please.
Hey, McIntyre! McIntyre!
Bye, lamb shanks.
My girl is flunking. Tell me why.
This is idiotic. Ask her.
If she knew anything, she wouldn't be flunking. Besides, you're the expert.
No. She's the expert. I can only speculate.
Speculate.
Look, 4 new courses is a lot to handle.
Too big a change, you mean, or what?
She's got more work to do, and there's much more competition among the kids.
More work. All I got to say to you, Miss McIntyre, is 7 to 10.
And what does that mean?
Those are the hours she's going to be studying every night. All right, Saturday's off. But those grades come up, you hear me? I don't need these. Think a thing out and you can fix anything. Thanks a lot, McIntyre. Tonight, 7 sharp. You hear me?
Daddy, the whole world can hear you. He never listens. Only talks. How can a man like that know anything?
Sharon.
Why do I have to be in this mess anyway? I don't want to go to college. I never did. At least before I was going to graduate. Now I could flunk right out of high school.
Sharon, listen to me.
Why should I listen to you? All you do is take orders from my father. Do you know what you're doing, Miss McIntyre? You're ruining my life. My whole life.
Lunch?
No, Alice, not right now, no.
Well, I'll be right outside here, okay?
Don't let me keep you, huh?
Don't worry about it. The general major was no real challenge to you, was it? I mean, you just kind of loafed your way through. And now with college prep, well, for the first time you have to produce. Sharon, now these are cop-out.
What makes you say that? I mean, what do you know about me anyway?
Not enough, obviously.
Obviously. Thanks again, Miss McIntyre.
Alice. It's wrong, isn't it?
Well, it's,
Well, you see, it started with an eyebrow, and, well, one thing led to another.
I don't get it.
Well, didn't she tell you?
Who?
Sharon Stops.
You mean she did that?
Sure, it's her wig and everything. You know, people are really looking at me differently.
Well, I bet they are. But you know, I'm really impressed.
Yeah, except, don't you think it's a little far out? You know that Mr. Graham asked me out to have a martini with him.
But still, if she has that kind of ability, I wonder how serious she really is about it. You know, it can make all the difference in the world. Hi.
If you're looking for Mr. Schneider, he's in his office.
Well, as a matter of fact, I was looking for you. You got a minute?
Minute! I may be here forever.
What's the matter?
He says I stay here till I get it right. Anyway, what is it now?
Sharon, this thing about being a beauty operator.
I told you. How many times do I have to tell you?
But how do you know that's what you really want?
Look, I work on my girlfriends all the time, and I love that.
But that's not professionally. Now, if I
You mean in a beauty shop? A real beauty shop?
would you be interested?
Are you kidding?
All right, then. Do you know what an apprentice shampoo girl is?
Yes.
Well, there's a shop that needs one. Now, all you do is learn how to wash hair. But you'd be working with people, and you'd be on the inside.
It'll get me out of this mess. I'd sweep the floors even.
Now, I didn't say anything about dropping any...
Beauty shop? Who needs this chemistry? Miss McIntyre, I don't like this college prep.
Sharon, if it's wrong for you, I'll get you out of it, believe me. But first, I have to be convinced. And incidentally, so does your father.
Yeah, well, I'm already convinced. Do you think I can ever prove anything to my father?
Well, you're 2 bites late, Mr. Stops, but I'll say this. You're good for my figure.
Look, I got a business to keep going. I can't keep running up here all the time.
That's fine, Mr. Stops, because Miss McIntyre has enough to do without your running over here.
What do you know?
Well, we've been talking about it.
What, you need advice now? Who is this guy, anyway?
Pete Dixon.
Oh, Dixon. My Sharon likes you. You can stay.
Thank you.
You ask if I needed advice, Mr. Stops. Well, I'll take all the advice I can get for something as important as this.
Then what about my advice? I raised this girl. When it comes to Sharon Stops, I have put in 16 years of study. Can either of you match that?
No. But Miss McIntyre can bring something to the situation that you can't. Objectivity.
maybe I don't need it.
What's the point, Mr. Stops?
The point is, you want to give her advice, that you get paid for. Getting her jobs, I don't go for that.
Why?
Because I decide those things.
Sharon doesn't have a voice in this, huh?
At her age, what does she know?
That's the point, Mr. Stops. She doesn't know. I thought the job would help Sharon decide what she wants out of life.
You mean today? Or tomorrow? Or the next day? The answers are all different, you know. She changes her mind like her hair color, that kid. Somebody has got to tell her what to do.
You're really that sure you're right, huh?
Yeah,
Then the job should prove it, don't you think?
I think it's a waste of time.
Well, I think it's important. Very important.
Then one of us has got to be wrong.
Careful, dear. I have very sensitive hair. Oh, I wish I had hair like yours again.
You can. It's a wig.
You know, it's getting to the point where you can't count on anything anymore. Take string beans, for example. Up 7 cents a pound last week alone.
Well, of course you'd say that. It just doesn't look like me, that's all there is to it.
I think it looks fine. Very chic.
You do. Well, we'll see about that. You, take a look at this and tell me what you think.
I think it looks great.
You do.
It's
Earl,
like
don't
that
look at me like
everywhere
that.
these days.
She's just a kid. What does she know?
It's just string beans. It would be one thing.
I'll recomb
That you priced.
No, I'm late now. I'll just have to live with it.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
No sorrier than me.
Your operator will be right with you.
Well, they're not all that way. Of course, all it takes is one of those a week, you know.
You think she'll be back?
Oh, yes, and she'll ask for me.
Well, like around school. All my friends really dug the way I did their hair. But I didn't charge them. It was all for free. But boy, when you do something for people for money, do they ever get fussy? I mean, every single little thing has to be their way. So I quit.
You what?
Listen, it takes 1,600 hours of schooling just to get your license. And the courses, little creepy things like facial muscles and nerves. It's even more boring than Chemistry 1.
I'm saying nothing.
Well, beauty shop's out, college prep's out. Now what?
Look, I'm only 16. Why does my whole future have to be decided now? You think this is easy for me?
I know it isn't, Sharon. That's why I'm here.
I'll tell you what you ought to do.
No, you won't.
You know so much, Miss Smarty Pants. Tell us what you're going to do with your life.
I said I don't know yet. I need time to think.
Like 10 years? Tell her about the horse.
Not a horse, Father, a pony.
One Sunday, I take her to ride the ponies. Well, she wasn't going to do it. So I put her on. And what does she do? Fall off. Cry? You should have heard the fuss. So I think, have you made a mistake? And I say, Arnold, you better find out. Well, the kid wasn't hurt, so I put her back on it. What have you got trophies? Not just trophies. Ribbons, decorations. She's got a good seat. You know what that means?
Daddy, horses and college aren't the same thing.
Yeah, but I know you, and I know what's best for you. And I don't think she does.
Yeah, but she listens to me. She lets me try things.
Sure, she'd let you try something, the beauty salon. And you quit, which shows you it was a waste of time, right?
It was not a waste of time, Mr. Stops. Not if she learned something.
You made a mistake. That's learning.
You better believe it. Look, Sharon has to live her own life and find out what she wants for herself.
You think so? Tell her about the broccoli.
Oh, no, not the broccoli again.
Wouldn't touch it. Decided to hate it. I made her try it. Now she loves it.
You're doing it again, Mr. Stops.
What?
You're smothering her.
Me?
Yes, you. If you keep it up, you're going to drive your daughter away from you.
What do you mean?
I mean, she has a mind of her own. Why don't you recognize that fact?
What am I doing so wrong?
You're bullying her. You're keeping Sharon from making her own decisions and her own mistakes. You know, one of these days you're going to put her on that pony and she's going to get off and stay off because it just isn't what she wants.
She's right, Daddy.
I only want what's best for you.
I know that.
Come on now. Who really knows what's best for his little girl?
I do. From now on, I'm going to tell me what to do. You're not going to tell me what to do anymore.
All right. All right. So tell me, you want college or not?
I haven't made up my mind yet. Okay.
Okay, what?
I've made up my mind. I want college.
Just like that.
I know my little girl, McIntyre.
Well, this isn't over yet. There's a small matter of grades, remember? Sharon's schoolwork is still below par.
I guess I'll just have to work a little bit harder.
What do you mean, guess? Come on. Let's go home and put you back to work. Like when you fell off the horse, your old man's gonna put you back up there again.
Daddy.
All right. Help put you back up there again.
Okay.
No hard feelings, right, McIntyre?
Don't mention it, folks. No trouble at all.
Oh, Pete! You can send a couple of students down to the supply room to pick up your new history textbooks.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kaufman.
No, don't thank me. Thank the computer. I asked for 400 bars of soap. They sent me 200 history textbooks. See you tomorrow.
Okay, goodbye.
There goes Mr. Graham. He hasn't asked me to have a martini with him since I took off Sharon's wig.
How's Sharon doing in her new classes anyway?
Well, I don't know if she's gonna make it yet, but she sure is trying a lot harder.
She doesn't seem so interested in all that beauty stuff. She hasn't mentioned my eyebrows in a month.
Are you sorry you're not still a blonde?
You know, you did have a certain something there.
Yeah, sure did. Somebody called it false advertising.
Richie?
The king was putting a squeeze on the colonists, and he topped everything with intolerable acts.
Very good. Bernie, give me one of the intolerable acts.
Ringo singing without the rest of the Beatles.
Okay, that's your one laugh for the day. Now, come on. One of the intolerable acts.
That land thing.
Oh, come on, Bernie. You can do better than that. Ted.
Well, question about the Stamp Act, Mr. Dixon.
Okay.
Well, the Stamp Act said that nothing could be printed without a stamp from the government, right?
Right.
Well, it was to raise revenue, right?
Well, and to control what was printed in the colonies. The man who issued the stamps could refuse a stamp to anybody at any time.
So it was a form of overt censorship.
Well, yes, it was, but, Okay, read the next 3 sections on the revolution. That's 9, 10, and 11. Well, are you planning an insurrection of your own?
Got a minute, Mr. Dixon?
Sure.
I was going to ask if you thought it was right or wrong for the colonists to ignore the stamp tax law.
Well, all they could do was accept it or ignore it. They had no legal alternative.
Well, we don't have any legal alternative either.
Cool it, Helen.
You got a problem?
Go ahead, Teddy. Yeah, baby, he won't turn us in.
You really are planning an insurrection, aren't you?
Well, I made the staff of the Blue and Gold. So did Helen.
Well, Mr. Dragan always approves my stories.
But Mr. Dragan won't approve anything that Ted writes.
Does he have a reason?
Well, he can't print what I write. The school board says that nothing can be printed in the school paper that's propaganda. If you have a point of view, then it's propaganda and the paper can't carry it.
Rule 1275.
Well, we try to get the school board to change it, but no student can speak at school board meetings without the approval of...
I know that rule, too.
What it comes down to is that we don't have freedom of the press. All our school papers could do is just tell us about dances or school teams.
Cooking hits.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. But we can't get into anything heavy, anything that matters.
We're going to start our own newspaper, Mr. D.
An underground newspaper?
Well, it's that or shut up.
I feel like a colonist, man. I mean, we should have some of them pilgrim hats, you know?
Well, a lot of kids want to say things and there's no place they can say them. Like petitioning and racial polarization. Well, you can't write about that in the Blue and Gold. Or about classes jammed to the doors or out-of-date textbooks.
Well, it doesn't sound like you came to me for advice. What did you come for?
We're going to make a newspaper without any censorship.
Okay.
We want to interview you for our first edition.
Why me?
Because you teach, you don't tell. Guys who hate school want to learn in your class. We want to find out why and print it. We wonder what makes you tick.
Where and when?
Well, we've got some details to iron out first, but we'll let you know, okay?
Okay. As long as I have your word that you'll quote me accurately and completely.
Oh, we will. We won't guarantee that we won't criticize what you say, though.
That's fair enough.
Mr. Kaufman! Oh, Pete, join me for a serene moment in an otherwise cataclysmic day.
What happened?
Nothing, but it will. You're not, the bearer of some kind of bad news, are you?
Well, I'm going to be interviewed.
Oh, that's nice. Teacher's magazine?
No, newspaper.
Oh, I hope it's not the London Times. My subscription just ran out. I see, it's not the Blue and Gold. I just saw the layout.
You're getting warmer. This paper hasn't even been published yet.
Oh, no. You're putting me on. We're not going to get one of those at Walt Whitman, are we?
Yes, we are.
One of those.
All the kids resent the restrictions of the school board rule.
Don't tell me about good old 1275 and the school board. Did you know something? Maybe you better think about it. It could be hot water for you. I mean, granting an interview to an underground newspaper. You weren't talking to me officially, were you? I mean, you're not going to tell me who's involved.
No.
Oh, that's good. Because if it was official, I'd have to say something significant. Go home and brood about what to do. This way, I can just enjoy the rest of the day and confront when the first copy comes out.
And then when you find a student that can write, you just fly. You get the feeling Alice likes teaching English?
I do get that feeling.
You know what I heard today? Some of the kids are starting an underground newspaper at school. Isn't that awful and terrific?
Awful and terrific.
Well, I mean, it's against the rules.
Which part is that? Awful or terrific?
Oh, awful. The terrific part is the kids really feel something, and they're going to do something about it. You know, I have a kind of vested interest in it, more or less. Do you know Ted Winkler?
I have him. He's a bright kid.
Well, I think he has a chance of becoming a literary genius.
Is that all?
Really? No, I'm serious. When he writes about a rainstorm, you get wet. Look, really, he resigned from the staff of the Blue and Gold because, well, Mr. Dragon couldn't print what he wrote because of some rule.
1275.
That's the one. You know, I'm glad they're starting their own paper because he'll have a place to write what he really cares about and feels.
An underground newspaper. I wonder how Mr. Kaufman's going to feel about that.
Oh, he'll understand. But then again, maybe he won't. This is delicious, Liz. I love dessert. That's really good.
Well, how do you feel about a problem-oriented course, Mr. Dixon?
Well, can you be a little more specific?
Sure. A course where real problems are covered, like demonstrations, drugs, sex, you know, all the things that schools are afraid to get into.
Well, I'd like to see those problems covered in an open discussion course.
How do you feel about kids having a voice in picking what the class talks about?
Well, that's the only way the class would mean anything.
What about the kids having a say in the curriculum? I mean, the school's supposed to be for us, you know.
They can do that now.
Oh, that's a joke. Can you see me going to Mr. Kaufman and telling him to stick in a course I want?
You know, the school board has a rule that a new class can be added if 20 or more students request it.
Oh, if there's a qualified teacher and if the subject's on the school board's list.
That's where they get you.
It's a long list. And I don't think that 20 students can come up with a class that isn't on it.
Well, then how come the kids don't use that rule to get classes they want to take?
Same reason they don't get interested in student elections.
Oh, I see. It's our fault, right? I mean, it's our fault the system's the way it is.
To some extent, yes, it is. Oh, you may be interested in changing things. This paper is proof of that. But the large majority of kids just don't care. And that's why making progress is so tough for the few who do care.
That's true, man.
If you could pick a single social problem that affects students and teachers and society in general and turn all our national energies on it for attention and solution, what would it be, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, let's see. Ignorance, indifference, lack of compassion.
I only asked for one problem.
It's all one problem, Ted.
Morning again, all. Hi.
Oh, good morning. What'd you do, get a raise?
Nope. But I did manage to acquire count 'em, one copy of the first edition of Whitman's own underground newspaper hot off the press, and here it is.
Is it good?
I don't know. I haven't looked yet.
Well, let's see.
They called it Truth and Freedom.
That's a fair beginning.
You're on the front page, Pete. Quote, Pete Dixon tells it like it is, and it ain't good. You got 2 columns and there are only 3. It says here you were interviewed by the staff of the paper.
That's right.
You didn't tell me about that.
Am I the only one in there?
Oh, there's a column called Our Teachers Evaluated. Oh, wait till you hear this. Oh, quote, Mr. Gilbert Casey, boys' vice principal. Mr. Casey's open mind is evidenced by his rapid-fire decisions that all explanations are lies and his absolute conviction that the students are the enemy and that without his iron hand, Whitman High would collapse and anarchy would run rampant in the street. Evaluation, A in prejudgment, A in oppression, A in overreaction, F in humanities, no times tardy and no times absent.
Boy, they really gave it to him, didn't they?
Zonk, Mr. Casey.
I bet Mr. Casey's ready to swallow his rubber hose.
That's not all. There's more. Mr. Dragan's next.
What does it say?
Mr. Kenneth Harmer Nelson Dragan has long been romantically attracted to one of the Bronte sisters, but it is not yet certain which one. He has been known to miss lunch because he couldn't decide between tea or milk, and that decisive approach to life spills over into the classroom where, more or less, though never that much more, he bedazzles his students with vacillation, equivocation, and hesitant but absolute lack of commitment. Evaluation, A in beating around the bush, A in fence sitting, A in being on all sides of an issue at the same time, not enough times tardy, not enough times absent. I know I shouldn't, but I love it.
I have a feeling Mr. Dragon's going to be very upset about that next week.
More or less, but not necessarily.
Look, there must be more.
No, the next one isn't very good at all.
Who is it?
Well, it's in very bad taste, and I think that whoever wrote it...
It's about me, isn't it, Liz? Is it about me, Liz? Well, read it. I mean, what could they say about me I don't already know? Is it funny?
It's terrible, and it's petty, and it doesn't deserve reading.
Please, Liz. Miss Alice Johnson thinks she's a student and also thinks she's a teacher. Single-handed, she has activated the word scatterbrain. She is the perfect example of those people who go into teaching because they can't stand the thought of leaving school. We are surprised she's working at a high school. Her attitude and self-image seem more suited to nursery school. This paper intends to request the school put in a seesaw and a sandbox for our bubbly little Miss Johnson. They didn't give me any evaluation. It is well written, don't you think?
Holding teachers up to ridicule? I don't mind myself. I've got the hide of a rhinoceros, but... Well, and look who's on the front page. Pete Dixon. He gave them an interview.
He's a very good teacher, Mr. Dixon is, if what one hears is true.
Well, sure he is. But I'll guarantee you he won't give us the names of those future Pulitzer Prize losers that wrote that junk and didn't have the guts to sign their name. But I'll find them, and out they go.
I wonder why they chose to remain anonymous, Gil. Yes.
Morning.
Morning.
Pete?
I assume you've seen this?
How can you condone that garbage, Pete?
Here we go again.
Oh, you know what I mean.
Pete, just for the record, you did not know what was going to be in the rest of this paper when you gave out that interview, correct?
They didn't even have a name for the paper.
Did they quote you accurately?
100%.
Oh, that's something.
Who were the phonies that put that slop together, Pete?
Can't tell you, Gil.
After what they did to Dragon and to Alice Johnson?
Well, what about yourself, Mr. Casey?
Well, you can forget about me. I'm the local tyrant. Well?
Don't intend to tell you.
Well, actually, while I believe that loyalty is more or less a good thing, there might be circumstances which override one's initial responsibility in some cases, though I'm not at all sure that applies here.
You know I'm going to find out who wrote that poison pen hogwash sooner or later, Pete.
Not for me, you're not.
You know what you're coddling here? Revolutionaries is what you're coddling.
Oh, well, now, I can see where he might be protecting, but coddling doesn't even really apply, except in the most abstract sense.
It's not abstract, it's coddling.
Coddled or sunny side up, it's still the same egg. The point is the students wanted a free press and they've abused it. Now, what are we going to do about it?
Ted. Hi.
Can we talk a little?
Oh, well, I'd like to, but I don't have the time right now, Mr. Dixon. Is that all?
I want to talk to you about the paper.
Oh, there's nothing to talk about. I mean, if you like it, read it, and if you don't like it, don't read it.
Goes deeper than that, Ted.
You've got that look of censorship in your eye, Mr. D.
Wrong look, Ted. Why don't you and the kids who are working on the paper meet me after school in room 222?
No. I mean, I won't do that. Well, you've got a lot of muscle, Mr. Dixon. You can turn us in, and Field Marshal Casey will toss us all out of school. But no amount of muscle is going to pressure us into allowing any censorship of our paper. Well, not even yours, and we dig you. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Dixon, no meeting. I'll see you later, Mr. Dixon.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Liz.
You know, I saw the cutest pantsuit down at Rubens, and they're having a sale. I thought we could go down there after school and look around.
I know you're trying to cheer me up, Liz, and I'm grateful, but a pantsuit won't help, no matter how cute it is.
Are you going to walk around like a wilted daisy forever because some kid decided to take a shot at you? I mean, for all we know, I may be the next one on the list.
Oh, no, they don't do you. They do the Caseys and the Dragons and the Alice Johnsons. The terrible part is I know they're half right. I don't know which half. See you later.
You'll find that point considered throughout the Constitution. Anyone accused has the right to face his accuser. Think about it. Bernie, suppose someone would say something about you and then walk away.
They could say anything they wanted to about you, whether it was true or not.
Do you think that matters?
Well, I can think of things I wouldn't want anybody to say about me.
Suppose somebody would walk up to you, to your face, say the same things.
I'd punch them.
In other words, if somebody has something to say about you and they walk up to you and say it to your face, they have to pay a price for that privilege, right?
Right.
Hold it. I want to talk to Pam, Helen, Richie, Al, and Bernie.
I told you we wouldn't sit still for any meeting.
What's wrong with a meeting, Ted?
Shut up, Bernie.
Well, who died and made you king?
The rest of you can leave. Those of you who I asked to stay can either stay or leave.
What's bothering you, Ted? The man's got something to say.
That man can't do anything wrong as far as you're concerned, Richie.
God, he never put me down like you just tried to do, Ted.
Okay, hold it. I just want to talk to you.
Bring a little pressure to bear is what you mean, isn't it?
I don't want to put pressure on you. But I thought you would listen to what I had to say.
It's about that teacher evaluation column, isn't it?
Yes. I don't want to know who wrote it, but I do want to talk about it.
Well, isn't that what you were doing in class a minute ago? I mean, those references to hiding behind anonymity, to hit out with impunity?
You're really strung out, man. Why don't you listen? It doesn't cost anything.
What you want to say about the teacher evaluation column was that it was rough, right? Well, that's how it is. Some people got zapped. No argument. But that's what happens when you tell the truth without a lot of phony pats on the head. Casey does think the students are the enemy, Dragan does sit on the fence, and Miss Johnson does come on like she was one of the kids.
That's not what I want to criticize about the column. It's your paper. If you want the column in, then it should stay in. I don't like it. But that doesn't matter because you're not writing the paper for me.
Then what?
It was cheap ridicule. Easy. You can find a flaw in everybody. Everybody knows that Mr. Casey is hard-nosed.
Oh, Mr. Casey could always do his own thing, and nobody could ever tell him that they thought his attitude stinks. Well, we told him.
And what about Mr. Dragan? Are you out to expose his love for the Bronte sisters?
Oh, you tell me what the column said about Mr. Dragan isn't true.
He does beat around the bush. But he works as hard as any teacher in the school to prepare for his classes.
Oh, we don't have to give his history to make a comment on him.
And now Alice Johnson. You really told it like it is about Miss Johnson. She bubbles. That's heavy truth, man. Well, she's also a teacher who does everything she can to help kids make better lives for themselves.
What's your point, Mr. Dixon?
Oh, get off it, man.
Hey, what do you want from me, Bernie? Johnson comes on too strong.
Well, what do you think you're doing, baby? You call your number being cool?
Okay, you've got us at each other's throats. Is that all?
That's not what I want. I don't want to see what was a platform for dissent go down the drain because somebody took a cheap ego trip. I thought the reason that you kids wanted your own paper was because our school paper was one-sided and stilted.
Well, it is.
So was that column.
That was an ego trip, man.
Oh, can you do any better?
He couldn't do any worse.
Oh, you're a real comedian, Bernie.
I'll tell you the truth. Now, what our paper's gonna do is chop down people, man. It's a real drag. I'm not gonna risk getting thrown out of school.
Like, tell me, what is the point of this column anyhow? I mean, who got evaluated? Nobody. They got chopped. I mean, who couldn't you chop if that's all you want to do?
I think I resign.
You can't. I heard Pam say that she was going to quit the paper. Don't, Pam. Don't any of you quit. I know you wrote the column that I was mentioned in, Ted. I never could mistake your style, even when you don't split an infinitive. I didn't like the content much. But then I wouldn't, would I? Anyhow, it didn't kill me or anything. What I really think is that the teacher evaluation column should be reevaluated. It hurts people. But even if it stays the way it is, and other people get hurt, don't quit your paper. Look, you have something to say, and you should try to say it. Say important things.
Well, even if we give the pluses and the minuses, some of the teachers are going to come up short.
Nobody asked you to make heroes out of teachers. Just be fair. I realize that truth sometimes isn't pleasant, but it's fair.
Maybe it's a column the whole staff should write together.
Maybe.
Do we still have a paper?
Yeah, we do. Right on, brother.
Okay, staff meeting in Pam's garage in half an hour. And I still think this meeting was an infringement on our rights as a free press.
Well, what? Is something supposed to be happening?
The Truth and Freedom is out. Did you get a copy?
Uh-huh. How'd your classes go this morning?
Just fine. Where's the paper, Liz?
In my purse.
Let's see.
It's a lot neater than the first issue. No strikeovers in the typing.
Did they do a teacher evaluation column?
I think so.
Was it fair?
Well, it was divided into two parts, pluses and minuses. Some of it was fair and some of it wasn't so fair.
Anybody we know make it this week?
Mr. Kurtz and Mr. Cooper.
Only two?
I was the third.
Can we see the paper, Liz?
Did they say anything terrible about you?
Mm-mm. They had some comments to make on the minus side, but nothing terrible. They did say that my door was never closed to a student.
Why don't you show us the paper, Liz?
Do you think I'm overweight?
That what they said about you?
Yeah, and you agree with them, don't you?
Oh, no, I don't.
Oh, you'd say that if I weighed a ton.
Morning, Pete. Morning, Alice. Morning, Chubby. upstairs. I've got a note from the principal.
You shouldn't, sir. If I let one person up, I should let everybody up.
Oh, yes, victim of my own joke. It was a joke.
Yes, sir.
Keep up the good work. I thought I was joking. Wasn't I joking?
Well, he's sort of the serious type.
You have him in any of your classes?
No. I've just seen him monitor. I think he's on the track team.
Oh, yes, he's the captain of the team. Craig Jackson. He's a good boy. Dean's List. Straight ahead.
Hi there. You have to use the other stairs. Everyone.
Now, listen, man, my homeroom's right up there.
I'm sorry. Other staircase.
Now, come on, Craig. It's no big deal.
Look, I didn't make up the rules. There's equipment up there.
All right, so what am I going to do? Steal a paintbrush?
Look, if I let you up, I gotta let everybody up.
No, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is maybe turn your back a little bit and tie your shoe or something.
Look, why don't you go the other way
Look,
like
man,
everybody
what's the
else?
deal, huh?
Be so special.
No, not...
All right, Craig.
Hi, Miss Johnson.
Well, what's going on?
Miss Johnson, nobody's supposed to go through here. They're painting.
I'm just trying to get to my room, that's all.
Well, can't he go up this way?
No, I was assigned here because of the painters.
There are no painters now.
Look, all I know is I was assigned to patrol here.
Yeah, but don't you think... You better go around.
Okay, sure. Carry on, Sergeant.
Mr. Kaufman?
Oh, morning, Dan.
How'd you make out, Dan?
What'd the doc say?
What did he prescribe? Did the track team do better this year?
Well, that might not be a bad idea. No, it's hypertension. He said I have to give up all outside activities, track, anything that gets me excited, anything that I enjoy.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dan.
For how long?
Oh, maybe just the rest of the season.
Oh.
Well, I have to find a temporary track coach. I'll appoint a volunteer, right? I think I know someone. A man of great energy, athletic experience, tremendous devotion to the kids, and with very little spare time.
Who do you think he has in mind?
Now, I'd like you all to take a look at this. It's neat, it's easy to read, and the margins are perfect. And all the references are indexed on the back. Oh, I can see Paul back there snickering. But uncluttered edges, sharp lines, high polish and neatness are just as important in a composition as they are in a hot rod. There you are, Craig. B+.
Thank you.
I'm sorry if I embarrassed you. Now, I gave 1 A, and the author got absolutely nothing for neatness. This is for humor, insight, and the way the thoughts are expressed. It's called How I Turned On to George Washington. Look, Brendan, would you come up here and read this for the class, please?
Yeah. Come on, man. I can't read my own writing.
I can understand that, believe me. Come on.
How I Turned On to George Washington by me. It always seemed to me that Mount Rushmore didn't look like George Washington, but George Washington looked like Mount Rushmore. Kind of gray and cold and stony. Remember how in grammar school, every classroom had this same unfinished picture? G. Washington, father of country? And then there were all those paintings about the Revolution. 1776, that is. Well, enlisted men, like at Valley Forge, were always wrapped in rags and turning blue, while General Washington always seemed nice and cozy, like he had thermal underwear under his uniform.
Yes, Craig.
Miss Johnson, I don't think that's particularly funny. In fact, I think it's rather disrespectful.
I see. Well, why don't we let Brendan finish, okay?
But one day, I read a letter General Washington wrote to a young lieutenant who had gone AWOL to see his girl. The letter was compassionate, simple, and understanding. So I began to get with George Washington. And all of a sudden, bam, it hit me. I mean, he carried that revolution on his back. He commanded the loyalty of kids as idealistic as Lafayette and men as worldly as Franklin. Over. He was a man of unbelievable courage, a man of authority who really didn't want to be a king. George Washington, the father figure of his country. Come back, George. We need you. After all, how many presidents have you known who'd powder their hair and tie it in back with a ribbon?
Thank you, Brendan. Yes, Craig.
Yeah, well, what I wanted to say is, it was a humorous piece. I guess it was even well written, but I really do think it was disrespectful.
Oh, come on, I dug it.
I dug it.
Yeah.
Okay, hold it, please. Now, Craig, I don't think you can honestly say it put George Washington down. It makes him seem alive. Look, does anyone else agree with Craig?
No.
Wait, now, I see what Craig objects to. It is flippant. But the real value of the composition is in its content, and it would remain the same whether it were written in blank verse or in the underground press.
Hey. One, two, and ho! Okay, leg stretching. Let's go. Ready, begin. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2.
Craig is a natural leader. He's been more like an assistant coach than just the captain. You can lean on him whenever you need anything.
1, 2, and halt. Okay, everybody, laps. Come on, let's go.
Well, Craig, I guess this is it.
Yes, sir.
I know you're going to do your best for Mr. Dixon here, just as you did for me.
I will, sir.
Atta boy. Good luck, Pete. Oh.
He really dedicated himself.
Are the crowds in the stands ready?
What's going on?
The great Stampede! Now, 18 feet 6 inches.
Hey, we've only got 2 of those poles, sir. I'd better get it.
The greatest show on earth.
Okay.
All right, I take the pole.
Let me use it just for a minute. Huh?
Look, we've only got 2 of them, Brendan.
All right, look. It's school property. My mother pays taxes. I'm entitled to use it at least once.
No, only members of the team. Now, come on.
Okay, all right, fellas, knock it off.
Sir, can I test this piece as school property as a member of the student body in good standing?
He doesn't even know how to hold it, sir. He could kill himself.
You know this equipment is reserved for the team.
Now, that's not democratic.
Now, you could have come out for the team. Nobody stopped you.
Okay. I hereby wish to announce my candidacy for the WW High Track team. I'd like to audition for the pole vault.
Do you think you can vault that?
You the new track coach here?
That's right. For the rest of the season.
If I can clear that for you, you let me come out for the team?
Anybody can come out for the team.
What about the dress code?
We don't have a dress code here at Whitman.
The track team does.
Oh, if you mean that the fellas wear tracksuits in the school colors, we do. Does that bother you?
Well, what do you want to wear? Bell-bottoms and psychedelic shirts?
All right, man, you know what I'm talking about. Coach, Mr. Highland said that unless I cut my hair, I couldn't come out for the track team.
I didn't know that.
Sir, Mr. Highland said that neat appearance helps morale, and that a team needs good morale if it's to do its best.
Well, I don't think you fellas have to cut your hair if you don't want to.
But Mr. Highland said that a haircut is part of the uniform.
Well, I disagree. You fellas decide that for yourselves.
Great. Yeah. Now can I take a crack at that?
Go ahead.
Okay. Before I lose my confidence.
Man, that guy's gonna kill himself, the jerk.
Hey,
Hey, come on, you guys. Quit horsing around. You're ruining the practice.
Hip, 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 ha!
Hey, Coach, let us show you this thing, man. Listen, we got these contests we're making up for the 1973 Model Olympics. It's a test of speed, skill, endurance, and courtesy.
Out of sight. I'll be the finisher.
Right.
Come on, man. Hey, don't you?
Okay, laps. Everybody. I want to see the sprinters for practice starts.
Of course I don't want you to quit. You've worked too hard, and besides, you're captain of the team.
Am I?
You think the team is falling apart, that there's no discipline, and that it's my fault, right?
Now, come on, Mr. Dixon. It's gotten to be one big joke, you know that. Look, it wasn't like that with Mr. Highland. We worked. Now everybody's just clowning around.
Everybody meaning Brendan Michaels.
He's got all the rest of those sheep doing it.
Let me ask you something. In the 3 weeks since Mr. Highland had to give this up, are practice sessions longer or shorter? Are you doing fewer laps? You know, I keep a daily worksheet. And Craig, nobody's goofing off.
Look, I didn't actually say anybody was goofing off. It's just so disorganized. You can't have any pride.
Let's talk about Brendan Michaels. Isn't that what this is all about?
All right, he can pole vault.
Look, I know you don't like him and he doesn't like you. Maybe you both will just have to learn to live with that.
But what about his hair?
His hair. What about it?
Look, at least 5 other guys had to get theirs cut to be on the squad. Ed, Dave, Phil Dorfman. Look, it just isn't fair.
Well, now they can wear their hair any way they want to, okay?
Okay. But you know, it's a funny thing, sir. I'll bet I try to obey the rules and do what's right as much as anybody else in this school, and maybe more. But I always seem to be the one that's picked out as being wrong. I mean, you do what you're told, and everybody, even your teachers, they laugh at you and call you paranoid.
You think that what Craig says is true? When I was in school, it was the opposite. A decent, clean-cut kid like Craig, hard-working, would have been one of the most popular kids in school. I hate to see him quit the team.
Well, he and Brendan just don't seem to be able to cut it. Craig seems to feel that Brendan has turned the other members of the team against him.
Isn't that ridiculous, over hair and clothes and nonsense like that? Can't they see how unimportant that stuff is? If 2 kids that have that much in common can't exist on the same track team, wow, what kind of a chance do we have? Can't you make them understand that, Pete?
No. All I can do is try to get them to talk to each other. They'll have to learn how to understand on their own.
It's a good trip. Whew. Gotta try it, Coach. It's a blast.
No, thank you. I like to keep my feet on the ground.
Well, you gotta open up to new things.
Sure, we all do. Listen, I asked Craig to have a talk with you. Don't turn him off, okay?
He said he wants to quit. So let him quit. Why all this group therapy?
Well, I don't want him to quit.
Why, because he put in his time?
No. Because he works hard and he's an asset to the team.
You looking for the winning season, Coach? I mean, if you want to show up old hypertense Highland, I guess I can dig on that.
I'm not in competition with Mr. Highland. And there's nothing wrong with being on a winning team.
Wanting to win can get to be sick if you're not careful.
I'll be careful.
And you do it because it's a groove. You said that yourself.
Sure. Now, what about Craig?
If he talks to me, I'll talk to him.
Mr. Dixon said that that we ought to have a little talk.
Yeah, so I heard.
Don't exactly know what I'm supposed to say.
Oh, well, we're supposed to pat each other on the back, let bygones be bygones, and kiss and make up.
I don't think that's very funny.
Well, you don't think anything's funny.
No, I don't think everything is funny.
I think it's pretty funny. You said you were quitting, now you're trying to crawl back.
And I'm not crawling back. You know, since you've come on the team, it just isn't worth being on.
You think I've screwed up the team?
Yeah, that's right.
That the mighty Whitman poets might not get their fair share of victories this glorious season.
Yeah, that's right. You know, that's all you know how to do, isn't it? Tear things down. You know, people like you ruin everything that's good.
And people like you make me sick. And up, 2, 3, 4. There's only one way to see everything. Your way.
Not my way, the right way. You know, there's a right and a wrong way to do everything, and slobs like you don't know the difference.
You know what you are, man? A nut. There isn't one guy on the team doesn't think you're some sort of stupid, paranoid nut. Up, 2, 3, 4. Go on, man. Up, 2, 3, 4. Man, why don't you quit? Who cares? You want to know who? Nobody. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4. Up, 2, 3, 4.
Great, man, great. Did it! You did it! You did it! Hey, man.
All right, way to go, man. Hey, 5 more points. Coach, mark it down. How we doing?
We still got a chance. You guys with events to go, you hang nice and loose, okay? What happened to you?
I was warming up and the old hamstring went. It's not too serious, but I sure can't run.
Help him to the locker room.
Sorry, Mr. Dixon.
It's not your fault, Lou. Put some heat on it and I'll take a look at it later, okay?
That about kills our chances of winning the meet.
Well, we still have another chance. All we need is the first in the 440-yard relay. We might be able to squeeze in.
We're not going to win with 3 men. With Luther out, we don't have another man to run.
Oh, yes, we do. Him.
He's really something, isn't he? I mean, no matter what, he just keeps cheering us on right to the bitter end. You gonna ask him to take Luther's spot?
No. You are.
We can win. What? We can win.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
Now look, man, it's not for me. Luther, Byron, all those other guys, they really want to win this one.
Yeah, they've sure been trying.
Oh, look at Luther, man. He's down in the locker room with a pulled muscle.
You mean win one for the Gipper, huh?
What's that?
Oh, that's when the coach tells his team that the star halfback is in the hospital. You know, win one for the old Gipper. Sounds pretty rah-rah to me.
Yeah, okay. You got me. I guess I've been pretty Look, man, I'm sorry for what I said. It wasn't true. Anyway, it's not going to be any skin off my nose if we don't win this track meet. But I think we ought to do the best we can. That means all of us. So if you want to run, you got about 45 seconds to suit up, huh? Come on, man, you can do it. Come on, skinhead. Come on, do it for Whitman. Be a hero. Come on. Come on, you hairless wonder. Run! Come on, man, run! Run! Hey, hey. That's all right, man. It's all right. You had a great race.
It's okay. Come on, let's go sit down. Come on, rest.
Good morning, Brendan.
Good morning, Miss Johnson.
Excuse me, I have to get through.
I'm sorry, Miss Johnson, but there's a light fixture broken up there, and until it's replaced, I can't let anybody get through here.
Yeah, but my class is right at the top of the stairs. See, I don't want to go all the way around the building.
No exceptions, Miss Johnson.
Morning, Brendan. I just have to, I can't.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Kaufman, but the law must be obeyed at the top if the rest of us are going to respect it.
Of course. Kind of a hippie to that.
Brendan, you a hall monitor?
That's right.
It's okay. You can let us through. We won't tell anybody.
Sorry, I can't let anybody get through here.
Now, buddy, look. Hey.
Thanks for taking over for me. How'd you make out?
I just handled the job exactly the way you would have. I was hard-headed, unbending, stubborn. I probably made 100 enemies. The coach, the principal, teachers, kids.
Hey, Brendan.
What?
You can't go that way.
Oh, now, come on, Craig. After everything I've done for you...
Well, I'm sorry. I can't show favoritism. You're gonna
What?
have to
You
do
can
that.
show favoritism. Don't you have to favorite anything? No. I didn't make you...
They're very good, Linda.
Thanks. Sam Cousins says they're going to make it big sooner than we think. They cut a demo last week and Sam sent it to Nashville.
Who's Sam Cousins?
He's part owner of the discotheque where the toothpick plays. He says that they got the new sound that's going to be heard in high places.
High places? Mountains?
You know what I mean. He says that Mel and the boys should be signing a contract inside of 2 weeks.
That's wonderful.
Anybody want my pickle?
Are you asking a question, or is that what they're playing?
You can unplug us, sweetheart.
Very good, fellas.
Thank you.
I understand you guys are close to signing a recording contract.
Oh, that's Sam talking big again. It doesn't mean anything.
Well, say, Mr. Dixon, you should hear our sound in the club.
Yeah, why don't you bring your chick down some weekend?
Right now, his chick is worried you guys are going to be late for class. Now, let's go.
Did you know that Alexander Hamilton was blackmailed for messing with another guy's chick?
Oh.
No, it's true, it's true. And there was talk that he embezzled a little to pay off the blackmailer.
Then how come he raised a statue in the park downtown?
Yeah, and they got his picture on a $10 bill.
Well, he cleared himself by proving he paid the blackmailer out of his own pocket. People who thought like Hamilton were given a certain name.
Lovers, huh?
Monarchists.
Right.
You mean there were Americans who dug all that king and queen jazz? But I thought that's what the war was all about.
Well, these people were for making their families and friends the royalty of the new country.
And they even tried to make George Washington our first king.
Yeah, but he didn't dig it. He used to freak when anyone would call him Your Majesty.
Mel, very good presentation.
Thank you.
You got a flair for teaching.
Well, that's what I've always wanted. Did you know you wanted to be a teacher at my age?
Oh, I was thinking about it.
Teaching really turns me on, you know?
As much as playing rock?
Well, it's not exactly the same thing.
I hear that your group is planning on a career in music.
Oh, not really. Some of the guys talk big. You know how many groups there are trying to break into the rock business?
Quite a few.
Sure. And anyhow, if I don't become a teacher, who's going to teach the kids the real story behind our American heroes?
Right.
Later.
Hey, Mel.
Oh, hi.
I've got good news. It's almost all set for the fishing trip. And since I talked to you, I managed to scare up 2 bona fide fishing poles.
18 kids on 2 fishing poles.
Oh, 19. I've never been fishing before either.
Are you kidding?
No, I don't know why, so you'll have to.
I know when I'm leaving.
We were being quiet, Mr. Kaufman.
Oh, I know that. It's just that your quiet is considerably louder than mine.
Don't you like our music, Mr. Kaufman?
Oh, yes, some of it. But tell me, why does it always have to be so loud? I took a drive in the country last Sunday, and it was so peaceful. It made me realize how much I miss tiny, tiny little sounds. You know, like the sound of a brook. Just a quiet little bloop, bloop, bloop. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Sure. I mean, like a flute can really turn me on.
Right. Same thing.
Hey, Mel, play Gets Me By. You didn't play it this afternoon.
Okay.
It's far out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Gets me by. Gets me by. Gets me by. Gets me by. To hear your voice when you are so far away. Gets me by. Gets me by. Gets me by.
Bullet! What's up, Sam? Did the club burn down or something?
Yeah, what's wrong? What's going on?
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong. I get no appreciation. No thanks. That's what's wrong.
I'm making you guys stars and not so much as a thank you, Sam.
He's heard from Nashville.
If getting a special delivery and a long-distance call is hearing from them, well, then I heard from them.
Come on, sit it, man. Come on, don't hold out on us.
They want you in Nashville in 2 weeks to cut an album. Gonna go first class by bus. Oh, absolutely. We're gonna use all the investments and invest in Sam Cousins. Okay? And we'll buy a plane.
Oh, Miss Johnson, Mr. Dixon. Have you got a minute?
Sure, Mel. What's on your mind?
I don't think I'm going to be in town to take my finals.
You won't?
I don't think so.
Well, when will you know?
Oh, I know I won't. I'm going to have to go to Nashville.
Oh, so the long shot paid off, huh?
Yeah. Sam says we got a lot of new numbers to work up before we go. They want us to cut an album.
Well, can't Sam put this thing off? A week or two couldn't make that much difference.
Sam said no. I asked already.
That means you're going to have to take an incomplete. It's too bad. You're almost at the end of the semester.
Oh, can I take the finals when I get back from Nashville?
I don't know if you can do that legally.
Why don't you check with Miss McIntyre?
Do you think she'll let me?
I don't know.
How about our fishing trip? You'll be able to make that, won't you?
I guess so. I'll sure try.
You know, I think it's exciting. You know, who ever heard of Liverpool before the Beatles? Who knows, the nickel-plated toothpick could put Walt Whitman high on the map.
You've got to do this for me. I don't mean you've got to. You don't got to do anything. But what I mean is you've got to make an exception just this once.
Now, let me say that
I mean, there must be a loophole somewhere, Miss McIntyre. There's a loophole in everything, my dad's always saying.
Well,
Look, I want to be a teacher. But you think I want to miss the finals? All I want is the chance to take them when I get back.
I get the picture, Mel.
Yeah,
Now,
well, the school made an exception for Barney Pickens. Now, of course, he got busted and couldn't take the finals at the time. But if I don't go to Nashville, I'm going to... Yeah?
Permit me to say something in my defense.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. I just want to say that it can be arranged.
It can?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
This is at least as special a case as when Barney Pickens got busted. The group sounds great. If you guys want to do something for yourselves, the school will try to work with you.
Oh, wonderful.
You know, what a lot of you kids can't get through your heads is that some of us are really on your side. On your way out, give a list of your teachers to Marion, and I'll send them my official okay.
Thanks a lot.
You have to take your finals no later than 2 weeks into the next semester. Now, will you be back by then?
I will be back by then. You're what it's all about. You know that, Miss McIntyre?
Thanks. I think.
Good, good. I love it back home.
Hey, how about if we lie down on our backs with our arms and legs in the air and play like that?
Great, I love it.
Do
Do it.
We wave goodbye to the school like we're glad to be rid of it.
Do it, yeah.
It's much funnier, man.
All right, okay. Play it like he says. This is costing me, huh? Good. Get a lot of face, man. All right?
I'll be right back.
Hey, Mel, what do you think you're doing? This is costing me money. I mean, bread.
I know.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Mel.
Hi.
What are the pictures for?
Oh, publicity. Listen, I wanted you to know that Miss McIntyre said it would be all right for me to make up the finals when I get back from Nashville.
Well, glad to hear it.
You're glad.
Mel, come on.
Hey, is that Sam?
Oh, yeah, that's Sam, all right. Listen, Miss McIntyre said she was going to send you her okay, so it's going to be official and everything, okay?
Mel, let's try to stick with it till we get the pictures out of the way, huh?
I just wanted to tell them it'll be all right for me to take their finals when I get back from Nashville.
What, get back from Nashville? You're not coming back right away.
I'm not?
Hey, you think they're gonna let you cut a few sides and let you go back like it never happened? They got a circuit of promo dates they send their groups on.
But I gotta get back, Sam.
Come on, let's go.
I'm talking to Sam. It's important to me to get back. I want to graduate.
Mel, we'll talk about it later. Let's go, Mel.
Yeah, but why didn't you tell us this before?
Later. We'll talk about it later, I promise, all right? We'll talk. We always talk, don't we? All right, now what I want is one nice shot, okay? So I want you should all stand together. Come on. Come on, man, that's it. Good. I tell you what, put your arms around each other's shoulders. Good. Come on, quit clowning around. Smile nice. Come on, Mel. Hey, think how famous you're gonna be? Huh? Take it. That's the picture for your first album cover.
Hey, Georgie, over here. We're saving a spot for you. Oh, you don't mind, do you?
Is that a question?
I wonder what's taking Mr. Kaufman so long.
Hey, look what's in the music section of our above-ground newspaper. The nickel-plated toothpick is on its way, predicts Sam Cousins, the group's manager. He went on to say that within the year, they would be one of the biggest groups in the industry. Hey.
Well, what do you think about that?
Wow.
Sounds like a manager talking.
Maybe I shouldn't have stopped my violin lessons.
Well, music's lost is education's gain, Miss Johnson.
Thanks. Oh, excuse me. Hey, Mel.
Oh, hi, Miss Johnson.
Hi. The requisition for the bus and the driver were okayed, so the fishing trip is on for Saturday.
Oh, that's great, only...
And 3 mothers volunteered to help us, so all we need are the worms.
I can't go.
But you have to go. None of us know how to fish, and the whole thing was your idea.
I just can't go.
Why not?
Our manager's got us working up some new numbers, and I can't get out of it. You know how it is. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm going to have to settle for an incomplete in your class, because I won't be able to take the finals after all. See ya.
Okay, now let's see the shadow effect. Isn't that far out?
Sure is.
Hi. Do I know you?
I'm Pete Dixon. This is Alice Johnson. Mel Wirtz is one of our students.
Oh, great. Am I glad you're here. You know, it's about time you and I had a little talk. Kill the lights, Marty. Sit down, please. Sit. Marty, the lights. Yeah, now that's better. You know, I've been planning to get up to that school to talk to somebody, but I've been so hung up. I mean, unbelievable. Listen, what's with Mel?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, he's dragging his feet. You know, when we're listening to other rock groups, their arrangements, things like that. He's got his nose in some lousy school book. Now, I wish you'd talk to him.
About what?
His career. For his own good, let him know what I'm doing for him. I mean, he's got a great opportunity here. We don't want to see him blow it,
Look, you seem to be doing fine on your own, Mr. Cousins. Mel told me that he's dropping out of school.
You're kidding. Well, what do you know? All my talking worked, huh?
Oh, it worked just fine. It took him out of school, out of the Head Start program, out of going to college, and out of becoming a teacher.
A teacher? What's wrong with him? A teacher?
Has it ever occurred to you, Mr. Cousins, that a boy like Mel might be better off being a teacher than being in a rock group?
Better off? How better? How much money can a teacher make? Answer me that. No, I mean the best teacher in the world. How much money can he make?
Mr. Cousins, if I thought it would do any good to talk to you, I'd try that. And by the same token, if I thought it would do any good to knock some sense into your head, I would do that too. But it is obvious that there's nothing that I can say or do that can make you understand anything.
Hey, man, easy, huh?
Let's go, Alice.
And that goes double for me.
How come maybe teachers? That's what we get for our lousy taxes.
Mr. and Mrs. Wirtz?
Uh-huh.
Come right in.
Hello.
Thank you.
Hello. This is Mr. Dixon, Mel's history teacher.
How do you do?
How do you
How
do?
do you do? I thought you would bring Mel with you.
Well, we asked like you said to, but he had another rehearsal.
I suppose you want to talk about Mel dropping out of school?
Yes, we do. You know, Mr. Wirtz, Mel is a good student. He enjoys school. And we think he would be making a big mistake by dropping out.
I know what you mean, but what are you going to do? He's a kid.
That's why we thought with your help we could convince him to stay in school.
My husband and myself have always made it a point never to interfere with Mel, unless it's an emergency.
Oh, you don't think his dropping out of school is an emergency?
Oh, come on now. It's not as if he was dropping out just to pitch pennies on a street corner.
He's one of the nickel-plated toothbrushes.
Toothpicks, dear. Sam Cousins, he seems pretty darn sure that they've got a sound that'll knock him dead. Sam feels that they could make a lot of dough with this band of theirs.
Mel's got the rest of his life to earn a living.
Well, we thought about that, but if we don't let him grab this chance, you know what he'll end up being? A teacher.
They're teachers, dear.
Oh, I meant that respectfully. But face it, how much do you make a year? 6, 7 thou?
That's personal, dear.
Some of these kids are millionaires before they're old enough to vote.
When you're that rich, you don't have to vote.
What am I going to say to the kid? No, you can't be a millionaire. You got to finish school. I mean, that's what school is for, isn't it? To learn how to make a buck.
No, that's only part of it.
We hope that school helps kids to find out who they are, too.
But Mel knows who he is. He's our son, and he's a toothbrush.
I heard you and Miss McIntyre saw my folks.
That's right.
Well, what'd you do that for? It's not as if I'm finished with school, you know.
Well, we thought you were.
Of course not. I mean, I figure I can take night classes later or maybe make up in summer school and like that.
Fine.
Well, you know I like school.
Yes, I know.
Sam spent a lot of time and money on us, and the guys in the whole school and Linda all expect me to go.
Not to mention your parents.
Yeah, how about that? They don't seem to mind me going either.
So what's the problem?
I guess there is no problem.
Except that I doubt very seriously if you'll ever get around to catching up in night school. And that's too bad. Because you told me you were interested in being a teacher. And you have got the talent for it.
Well, what am I supposed to do?
It's not for me to tell you.
Everybody's like pushing me to go with music, and can they all be so wrong? And anyway, what's the matter with a career in music?
Nothing. I just hate to see you do something because other people think it's best for you. You know, Mel, letting other people tell you what to do is like letting them tell you who you are. And that could be a very, very bad habit. I'd rather see you do something because you want to do it. Anyway, it's your decision. Just remember one thing. Be good to yourself.
Yeah.
Babe, I'm calling out your name, hoping you can hear. Babe, I'm bawling, hoping you will see my tears. Babe, I'm falling on my knees, hoping you can see. Babe, I'm crawling on my knees, just begging you please. And you can carry me back to that place across the track.
Fair. Take it again from the top.
Hey, we've been rehearsing since 11.
Like they say, practice makes perfect.
I've got an appointment.
To do what? Start one of those student revolts?
Quit kidding, Mel. We need the practice.
I said I'm splitting. It's important.
More important than practicing?
That's right.
What's more important than practicing?
Fishing.
Fishing? You mean fishing?
I promised some kids I'd take them.
You mean fish, hooks, worms, the whole bit.
That's right, the whole bit.
Oh, come on, Mel, you know you can't do it.
Wait a minute. Hold it, guys. Hold it. So you're going fishing?
Righto.
Well, he's just kidding us, aren't you, Mel? Putting us on.
No.
Great. Perfect. You go fishing. But let me just tell you something. You can take your pals with you. Because the second you walk out that door, you're through. All of you.
Mel, did you hear that?
Yeah, we've been working for this break for a long time. You're not just gonna toss it out the window, are you, Mel?
That's right, we've been depending on you.
You're ruinous.
Mel, the guys are right.
Of course they are. We all are, Mel. Hey, we know what's best, right, guys?
Yeah, the group comes first. You gotta stick with us.
Mel! Mel!
Look, you guys know what you want. Great. But I don't want the same thing. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything, but I'm not wrong either. I'm only sorry it took me so long to find out.
Yeah, but what about us? Without you, we're finished.
Maybe Sam's deal is finished, but that's not everything. Look, you guys play great. You don't need me and you don't need him either. If Sam doesn't want to manage you, you'll find someone else who will.
Wait a minute. Who said Sam doesn't want you guys? It's him he doesn't want. Who needs him? Let him go. There are 1,000 guys just waiting to take his place. And guys that play way better, too. Way better.
I'll never understand you, Melvin Wirtz.
Want to come fishing? I think you'll like it.
Why?
Because everything is so quiet.
I know you have the room after me. If you look at the clock on the wall, you'll find I have another 2 minutes.
No rush, Mr. Kaufman.
Opportunity room?
Uh-huh. You're not Mrs. Banducci. How come?
Exiled again. Back to Siberia.
Opportunity knocks, dummy.
Someone robbed my English.
Hey, we gonna get marked for opportunity. Hey, I gotta leave the room.
You just came in.
This is a free country, right?
No, not exactly.
Woo! We got us a right on system.
All right, everybody, simmer down. Take your seats. Let's see if we can't get something done.
Something done.
Now, we don't do nothing. Not here.
You're supposed to leave us alone, and we won't bother you.
That's right. We're no good.
Oh. Now, you were sent here because you got into trouble with your subject teachers, and I would like to know what kind of trouble. Why were you sent here?
She insulted me.
For using obscene language in auditorium.
Man, you cussed in the auditorium.
Man, shut up.
And you?
Oh, me and this young man, we had a little argument, you know.
For giving another student a bloody nose.
Oh, wow, shame, man.
And what did you do?
Like in social studies, I was wondering if to choose between a pear shape or a square cut diamond my boyfriend wants to give me for my birthday.
Here we go again, folks.
He's also giving me a red Alvarado sports car.
All right. Lack of attention span and non-reality oriented.
This is true.
What's your name?
Tamara.
Have a seat, Tamara. Next.
I burped too loud.
And the rest of you. Why are you here?
Chalk fight.
For reading my lunch in class, big deal.
We're all socially maladjusted, that's why.
Hey, how come you here?
Yeah, did you get thrown out of class, too? Are you a problem teacher?
He's not even a teacher, you dummy. She's a social worker or something.
No, I'm a teacher. I just specialize in counseling.
Are you here to shrink our heads or something?
I heard you the first time.
Well, I'm uncontrolled. Hey, where's Mrs. Banducci?
Oh, man, they just made her a warden of some prison farm or something.
All right, hold it down. Okay,
It says that I was cheating.
but you weren't.
Did you see that? She don't believe me neither.
I wonder why.
Well, I'd like to believe you.
Oh, yeah, that's what they all say.
Well, tell me what happened.
Well, I was talking to myself, and Bruckner thought that I was asking somebody else for the answer. I knew the answer.
Why were you talking to yourself, George?
I was telling myself what a jerk old Bruckner is. He doesn't like me to say it out loud.
What have you got against teachers, George?
Teachers. I love teachers. Greatest people on the face of the earth, teachers. Why, aren't you proud to be a member of such a great and glorious profession, Miss McIntyre?
As a matter of fact, I am.
You know, what I don't understand is why they call it the opportunity room.
Well, it used to be called the social adjustment room. You like that better?
Well, you see, the kids are supposed to be given an opportunity to straighten themselves out.
Oh, it's tough. You get the kids for 50 minutes, and every one of them is hung up with some problem or another.
Yeah. You don't get to give any grades, so you got no leverage.
Something happened. What happened?
Nothing.
Come on, Liz.
Let it all hang out.
Who was it?
Off the record,
Sure, off the record.
George Badgley,
Who sent him to see you?
Bill Bruckner.
Oh, yeah, I remember. Curly-headed kid. Lost his cool and blew up at Bill a couple of months ago. I remember that.
What happened?
He threw a book at Bill.
Did he hit him?
No, but with that kind of a kid, you could never tell. He smiles one minute and goes wild the next.
Did he throw something at you?
No, but he's got the nastiest grin. Oh, like he knows what you're thinking.
Now, if he gives you any trouble, you send him in to see me.
George will be all right.
It is not George I'm worried about.
No, I like school. I really do. It's the teachers that bug me. I'm going to start this movement called GROT. G-R-O-T. Get rid of teachers. Right, Box 214, Washington, D.C., and everybody send their contributions to the Opportunity Room.
Give me that address again, will you?
All right, all right. Does anybody have any constructive suggestions? Like, what would you do if you were in charge of this school?
Well, I'd put a moratorium on all homework.
And a color TV in every room.
Yeah, and 6 months vacation with pay for all kids.
All right, get serious. Tomorrow?
If you're gonna get married, I don't know why you ought to have to stay in school.
Now she's getting married. Congratulations, babe.
Let's try something.
Now what?
Pass the paper back. Put your name, your best subject, and your worst subject.
What's this for?
Well, I'm going to try to help George get rid of teachers. So we're going to try a little experiment. A skill swap. Students teaching students. If it works, we may be able to do away with teachers forever.
I can take that.
Alicia, you speak Spanish, so put that down.
Can I swap Spanish for touching toes and gym?
Hey, I'm great in lunch.
I'm fantastic in weightlifting.
Yeah, well, then we'll give you all the heavy problems.
Funny.
I'll swap music for help in bio.
Tomorrow? What skill do you want to swap?
I don't know.
What was your highest grade last semester?
B+ in art.
Well, put that down.
Now try to find somebody to help you with your worst subject, and I'll come around to check.
I got all worst subjects.
I'll help any good-looking chick in anything. Hey, so you gotta
What about you, George?
No, I'm not good at anything. According to Bruckner, that is.
Why'd he send you down this time?
We had a test. I passed it, but he failed me.
Why'd he do that?
He has to have some fun, doesn't he? He works long, tedious hours for little reward. Failing me is like a Christmas bonus for old Bruckner.
Why did he fail you?
Same reason. I was cheating, he said.
Well, why did he think you were cheating this time?
I had my math book open on my desk.
Well, didn't you realize that having your book open during a test would naturally make Mr. Bruckner think you were cheating?
Well, he doesn't need any excuses.
Okay, George. But like I said, if you want help, I'll try to give it to you.
Why? I mean, why do you want to help me?
You figure it out. Bill, do you have some time?
Sure, about a minute and a half before my next class.
Bill, I've been rotated to the Opportunity Room, and
Good luck.
I had one of your algebra students, George Badgley.
George Badgley. That's a bad news kid from head to toe. You know, the weird thing is he's actually pretty good in algebra, but he bends himself way out of shape to antagonize me. And evidently, he's done the same thing in his other classes.
If he flunks math, he won't be able to graduate, you know.
I've tried with that boy, believe me. But I'm not a psychologist. I get paid for teaching math.
Well, maybe if you had a talk with him, gave him some extra time.
Memo to all teachers. Please send list of unassigned lockers to office before 3 today. Requisition slips in triplicate due this morning. Age level reports due before 12. Collect all books for inventory. If I gave him a little extra time. Extra time. What's that?
I knew it. I just knew it.
What?
You and old Bruckner in there, ganging up on poor little Georgie.
I was trying to clear up the misunderstanding between you two.
Tell me, Miss McIntyre, do you believe me when I say that I wasn't cheating?
Yeah, I believe you.
How come? How come you believe me? I mean, I could have been cheating. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, I was cheating.
George Badgley, you little...
There, you see? I knew it. I knew it all along. You really got it in for me, haven't you? As a matter of fact, you hate me, don't you?
Now it's your... Okay, now it's your turn to repeat it, okay? Okay. You can do it. I know you can do it. Okay. Well, come on, try it.
Hablar.
News of bone.
Right.
Booze of day. Eels. Eels on.
Great! I told you you could get it.
Hey, well, pretty soon I'm gonna have to start wearing a beret and eating garlic.
Okay.
Then I got this Hollywood offer. But my boyfriend wants to take me to this Caribbean island his family practically owns.
You sure tell great stories. You should be a writer.
I can't spell.
Well, that's what I'm gonna teach you.
George, Jerry's failing algebra. Why don't you help him?
Sorry, no can do.
Why not?
I'm afraid the teachers' union will get on my back.
I hoped if you started thinking about somebody else for a change, you'd stop feeling so sorry for yourself.
Great. Fantastic. Sigmund Freud hits Walt Whitman. Well, tell me some more about what's going on in the garbage pail of my mind, Miss Freud. I'm all ears.
I don't know what you're trying to do, but you make everything so hard for yourself. You're turning your back on an opportunity.
An opportunity for what? For Hank to teach me spelling or Laura to teach me maps? You gotta be kidding. The only map I need is the one that shows me how to get out of here. I'll see you around campus.
Don't sweat it, Miss McIntyre. Can't win them all. You think you might find something in his permanent record that might help?
I don't know. Sometimes I wonder whether any of this means anything at all. Environmental factors, socio-economic factors, non-academic minded.
Non-academic minded. What does that mean?
A delinquent. Let me see. We know he's good in algebra. Does he have any strengths or interests that you can work on? If he ever comes back, that is.
Insolent, obscene language, disruptive conduct.
If it only said latent leader.
Or a very high underachiever.
Arrogant, seems to think he should run the class.
Hi, Miss McIntyre.
Hello. Oh, Tamara, by the way, that was a fine drawing you did for Hank.
Was it really? You mean you really liked it?
Of course. Why, don't you believe me?
Well, I don't know.
It's hard for you to believe you do anything well, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it is.
Well, take my word for it. It's a fine drawing, and I'm sure Hank really appreciated it, too.
I'm glad.
Tamara, do you happen to know where I might find George Badgley?
I don't know. Oh, is he in trouble again?
No, he ran out of school, and I just wanted to speak to him.
I don't know for sure. Maybe the taco stand. He's there sometimes on my way home from school.
Okay, thanks. Tamara, you draw beautifully.
Well, forget it, Liz. I'm dropping out, and that's that.
You mean copping out, don't you?
Clever, clever. I ain't so hot in my vocabulary.
Well, that must be because you've had such lousy teachers.
Now I know why you're here. You want to fail me in taco stand.
You're a coward, George. When things get difficult, you quit. You blame other people. Mr. Bruckner hates you. I hate you. Everybody hates George. So poor George hasn't got a chance. But if somebody does like you, you push them until they hate you too. So you still have your excuse for not trying.
You've really been thinking about me a lot, haven't you, Miss McIntyre?
Sure have.
wondering what's going on in that spaced-out George Badgley's head. Well, you don't know anything, you big deal teacher.
You think you could do any better?
Anybody could.
I'm asking you. Could you do better than I do?
Yeah, sure, so what?
Prove it.
What do you mean, prove it? What are you talking about?
Come to school tomorrow and take over the class.
I could do anything I want? No matter what?
No matter what.
Okay. Maybe we should start with what qualities you feel would make a good teacher.
Well, if she's absent a lot. Yeah, deaf, dumb, and blind.
Okay, cut it out.
You asked us for our opinions and we giving them to you.
Yeah, very funny. Anybody got a serious answer?
A teacher should be intelligent.
Well, that rules out more than half of them.
All right, let's put down intelligent. And who did that?
Did what?
You threw that, didn't you, Vic?
No.
Don't lie.
He didn't do it.
I got a fever. I'd better go to the nurse.
I gotta go to my locker, man.
No, you don't. Neither one of you. I know all about that stuff. Now sit down.
Why don't you sit down and shut up?
Yeah. Look, will you act your age? We're trying to have a discussion.
Louder.
Funnier.
Hiccup! Uh-oh. I have got the hiccups. You know, all my life I've been trying to catch him, and hiccup, I have finally caught the hiccup.
All right. You don't quit, huh?
Oh, what you gonna do, man? Send me to the opportunity room? I'm already there.
What are the qualities? What's the role of a teacher?
I gotta go. My fever's getting worse. I'm delirious.
I gotta sharpen my pencil, man.
I said cut it out. Now sit down.
I gotta go, just for the heck of it. I don't got to go, but I'm going anyway.
All right, quiet down. You two, sit down and shut up.
We've got a piercing voice, teacher.
What is going on here? Oh, I get it. This is your idea, isn't it, Miss McIntyre? You told him to do this, so I'd wind up looking like a fool.
Since when do we do what a teacher says to do?
That's a terrible thing you just said, George. Miss McIntyre wouldn't do a thing like that. Don't you know that?
You. What do you know? You're so spaced out you don't even know your own name. Tamara. Everybody knows your real name is Gussie Huffner. And all that junk about your boyfriend.
George.
You don't even have a boyfriend. You're too skinny and ugly to have a boyfriend. You're just a liar.
George, that's enough.
That's okay, Miss McIntyre. I know I tell stories a lot, George. But at least I don't hurt anybody. Except maybe myself. But you lie too. You tell yourself that everyone hates you. But that's not true. I like you, George. And I thought you'd do pretty good as a teacher up there. But I guess you got scared when things didn't look like they were going too well, huh? So you had to start blaming everybody, right, George? I know how it is. Because I get scared a lot, too.
There's not much time left in the period, so why don't we get together with our partners?
Miss McIntyre, can we continue this discussion?
Yeah, it's great to say in public what we always say in private.
Maybe we can give some real suggestions this time.
All right.
Miss McIntyre.
Yes, George.
Can I say something? Gussie? Tamara? Whatever you want to be called. I just wanted to say that, well, all that stuff they said, most of that stuff that you said was true. Almost all of it, as a matter of fact. And that's all. Except that you're not too skinny or ugly to have a boyfriend. I just said that because...
Because you're mean.
Yeah, that's right, Miss McIntyre, because I'm mean.
All right. You think you're mean enough to carry on as teacher until the bell?
Okay. What about some good qualities?
She should greet us with a smile.
Yes, you should have patience.
Right.
She should truly believe what she's teaching.
Yeah, and trust the students.
And be a friend.
Do you know that attendance in the opportunity room has been cut in half since Miss Banducci came back to take over?
Really? How come?
Well, a lot of kids were purposely getting booted out of their classes just so they could be with you.
You were making the opportunity room their favorite subject.
Well, it was getting to be mine, too.
Well, don't worry about it, because believe me, your good work has not gone unnoticed. We have plans for you.
Oh?
Oh, yeah. Did you know that we were going to create a greater opportunity room?
A greater opportunity room?
For those kids who couldn't come up to the high behavioral standards of the opportunity room. But we shelved that idea.
Oh, what happened?
Well, we decided it would be wasteful and unnecessary. You see, instead of starting a whole new classroom with all the problems that entails, we decided that we would just take all the difficult, unbelievably impossible kids and send them straight to you. What do you think of that?
Should I tell him?
Do you want an honest answer?
Yeah.